In May 2023, a significant release of legal documents once again brought the name of Jeffrey Epstein into the global spotlight. These papers, unsealed as part of ongoing civil litigation, contain thousands of pages of emails, testimonies, flight records, and correspondence linked to Epstein and his associates. Among the many names referenced in these documents was one of the most recognizable figures in modern technology and philanthropy, Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft. For years, Gates' past interactions with Epstein had been a subject of media discussion, public debate, and speculation. The emergence of these new documents reignited that conversation, raising familiar questions. What do these documents actually reveal? What has been officially confirmed? And what remains in the realm of allegation rather than fact? This documentary seeks to take a careful, evidence-based look at these questions. Rather than indulging in rumors or sensationalism, the goal is to separate verified information from unproven claims. In an era of social media and viral headlines, it is easy for allegations to be mistaken for facts. This is especially true when powerful individuals are involved. Our focus, therefore, is simple and clear: to examine the timeline, review what has been documented through credible sources, and present a balanced understanding of what is known versus what is merely alleged. Before diving into the specifics of the May 2023 documents, it is important to establish context around Jeffrey Epstein himself. Epstein was a wealthy financier who moved in elite social and financial circles. Based in New York and Palm Beach, he cultivated relationships with influential figures in business, politics, academia, and entertainment. For many years, he presented himself as a philanthropist and intellectual connector, someone who could bridge the gap between science, wealth, and global policy. However, beneath this polished public image lay a deeply disturbing criminal reality. In 2008, Epstein pleaded guilty in Florida to charges related to soliciting prostitution from a minor. He received a controversial plea deal that allowed him to serve only 13 months in a county jail with significant leniency and work release privileges. This agreement later became a major source of public outrage, as many believed it was far too lenient given the seriousness of his crimes. Despite this conviction, Epstein continued to maintain relationships with high-profile individuals in the years that followed. In July 2019, Epstein was arrested again, this time on federal charges of sex trafficking minors. Prosecutors alleged that between 2002 and 2005, he had operated a trafficking network that exploited dozens of underage girls. While awaiting trial in a federal detention center in Manhattan, Epstein was found dead in his cell on the 10th of August 2019. The New York City medical examiner ruled his death a suicide by hanging. His death shocked the world and left many questions unanswered, fueling conspiracy theories, legal battles, and further investigations. Following Epstein's death, multiple civil lawsuits were filed by individuals who claimed they had been abused or exploited by him. One of these cases, brought by Virginia Giuffre against Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's longtime associate, resulted in the gradual release of thousands of legal documents over several years. It was within this collection of unsealed records that references to Bill Gates appeared, bringing renewed attention to their past interactions. So what is officially confirmed about the relationship between Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein? According to reputable news outlets such as the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal, Gates first met Epstein in 2011, 3 years after Epstein's 2008 conviction. Gates has acknowledged these meetings publicly and stated that they were primarily focused on philanthropic discussions, particularly in the areas of global health and charitable funding. In 2019, a spokesperson for Gates told the Wall Street Journal, Bill Gates regrets ever meeting with Epstein and recognizes it was an error in judgment to do so. Reports indicate that Gates met with Epstein multiple times between 2011 and 2014. Some of these meetings took place at Epstein's Manhattan townhouse. It has also been reported that Gates flew on Epstein's private jet at least once during this period. These details have been widely covered by mainstream media and are not in dispute. Gates himself has spoken about these interactions in interviews, providing his perspective on why they occurred. In 2021, Bill and Melinda French Gates announced their divorce, which attracted global attention. In interviews following their separation, Melinda French Gates revealed that Bill's relationship with Epstein had been a point of concern for her. In a 2022 interview with CBS Mornings, she stated, "I did not like that he had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein." I made that clear to him. This statement added a personal dimension to the public discussion about Gates' past decisions. Bill Gates also addressed the issue directly in a 2021 interview with CNN's Anderson Cooper. He explained that he had met Epstein because he believed Epstein could help raise significant funds for global health initiatives. Gates stated, I had several dinners with him, hoping that what he said about getting billions of philanthropy for global health through contacts that he had might emerge. When it looked like that wasn't a real thing, that relationship ended. According to Gates, once it became clear that Epstein's promises were not materializing, he cut ties. This timeline, meetings beginning in 2011, multiple interactions over a few years, and eventual disengagement is what has been publicly acknowledged by Gates and documented by credible journalists. These points form the factual backbone of the story and are not based on speculation. The release of the May 2023 documents added another layer to this narrative. These records were unsealed as part of ongoing legal proceedings related to Epstein's estate and the lawsuits filed by alleged victims. They included a wide range of materials: emails, deposition transcripts, legal filings, and internal correspondence among various individuals connected to Epstein. Within this massive trove of documents, Bill Gates' name appeared in several places. Some of the documents contained emails in which Epstein or his associates mentioned Gates. Others included references to meetings or communications. There were also deposition excerpts in which individuals made claims about Gates' interactions with Epstein. However, it is crucial to understand the legal context of these materials. They were part of civil litigation, not criminal proceedings. That means they included allegations, testimonies, and statements made by various parties, but they did not represent official court findings of fact. Many media outlets reported on these documents, sometimes in sensational or exaggerated ways. Headlines often focused on the most dramatic claims, which naturally attracted public attention. However, the mere presence of an allegation in a legal document does not automatically make it true. Civil depositions frequently contain unverified statements that have not been tested through cross-examination or corroborated by independent evidence. Distinguishing between allegation and fact is essential in evaluating these materials responsibly. After the release of the May 2023 documents, Bill Gates issued a statement through his representatives. In this response, he firmly rejected certain claims as false, though he did not address every specific allegation individually. His statement emphasized that many characterizations of his relationship with Epstein had been misleading or inaccurate. Gates reiterated his earlier position that his meetings with Epstein were related to philanthropy, that he regretted engaging with him, and that their relationship ended when it became clear that Epstein could not deliver on his promises. Gates' legal team also pointed out that he had cooperated with inquiries and had been transparent about the meetings that did occur. Importantly, no criminal charges have ever been filed against Bill Gates in connection with Jeffrey Epstein. No court has found him guilty of any wrongdoing related to Epstein. This is a critical fact that often gets lost amid public speculation and online rumors. Despite this, many claims have circulated in the media and on social platforms following the release of the 2023 documents. Some people have alleged that Gates met with Epstein more frequently than reported, or that the nature of their meetings went beyond philanthropy. Others have cited statements from depositions as evidence of misconduct. However, these remain allegations, not legally proven facts. In journalistic and legal terms, an allegation is simply a claim that has not been established in court. It is possible that some allegations could be true, partially true, or completely false. Without verified evidence, however, they cannot be treated as established reality. This is not about defending or attacking any individual. It is about maintaining standards of factual accuracy. In a world where misinformation spreads rapidly, especially about high-profile figures, responsible reporting requires careful distinction between what is proven and what is merely claimed. Public interest in this story persists for several reasons. First and foremost, Jeffrey Epstein's crimes were horrific and deeply disturbing. The exploitation and abuse of minors is among the most serious violations of human rights, and the public has a legitimate right to know who was connected to him and in what capacity. Transparency is essential in holding powerful individuals accountable and preventing similar abuses in the future. Second, Bill Gates is one of the most influential people in the world. As a technology pioneer and philanthropist, he has played a major role in shaping global conversations around public health, education, climate change, and innovation. His actions and associations naturally attract scrutiny, especially when they involve someone like Epstein. Third, the release of court documents offers a rare glimpse into the private networks of the wealthy and powerful. These materials can help the public better understand how influence, money, and relationships operate behind closed doors. At the same time, such documents must be interpreted carefully without jumping to conclusions. There is a fine line between legitimate public inquiry and reckless sensationalism. When allegations are presented as facts without proper evidence, reputations can be unfairly damaged and trust in journalism can erode. Responsible analysis requires patience, critical thinking, and a commitment to truth rather than clicks or outrage. So where do we stand today? The confirmed facts are these. Bill Gates met with Jeffrey Epstein multiple times between 2011 and 2014 after Epstein's 2008 conviction. Gates has stated that these meetings were focused on philanthropy. He has publicly expressed regret for having any association with Epstein. In May 2023, legal documents were released that included references to Gates, some of which contained allegations. Gates rejected certain claims as false. No criminal charges have been filed against him, and no court has found him guilty of any wrongdoing related to Epstein. Beyond these points, many questions remain. Why did Gates continue meeting Epstein after his conviction? What exactly was discussed in those meetings? Were there motivations beyond philanthropy? These are reasonable questions that deserve serious consideration. However, they are still questions, not answers. The available documentary record provides only part of the picture. As new information emerges in the future, it will be important to evaluate it critically and responsibly. The intersection of wealth, power, and serious criminal behavior raises profound issues about accountability, transparency, and ethical responsibility. The Epstein case has already forced society to confront uncomfortable truths about privilege and influence. The ongoing release of documents will likely continue to spark debate and investigation. Ultimately, the goal should not be to convict in the court of public opinion, but to seek clarity based on evidence. Bill Gates has responded to the claims against him. Legal proceedings related to Epstein's estate and associates are still unfolding. The public will undoubtedly continue to ask difficult questions, and that is a healthy part of democracy. This documentary is intended for educational and informational purposes only. All information presented is based on publicly available court records, credible news reporting, and verified public statements. No unproven allegations are treated as established facts. The aim is not to defend or condemn, but to inform, analyze, and encourage thoughtful discussion grounded in evidence.